tracks. Bravely we prove in our striving, trudging together each day. Where there's a will, there's a way.
Good morning, everyone. It is the weekend, right? 9:30 in the morning. Hey, Jeff. That's what I like about weekends. I get other people that usually work during the week. Hope you've been doing good, man. Just waiting for that 2-minute mark to hit, and then I will get started. Is there anything I could talk about in the meantime? Oh, we're going to have shirts. First come, first serve. Kenny, good to see you. Gary, good to see you. Today we're going to be talking about step 10. It'll be good for anyone, whether you're on step 10, have done step 10, and give you some secrets. Just wait for that 2-minute mark. All right, let's get started. If you're here, please say hello, whether you're watching the live or the rewatch. It would be greatly appreciated. Facebook does take that stuff into account. I'll put the video out a little bit more. More people comment and things like that. So you guys know how it works. What it comes down to is Facebook just wants their proprietary crap is really what happens. So step 10. Step 10 is directly related to step 4. Right? So, if you have done a thorough step 4, and because step 10 is what's called a maintenance step. It means it is to maintain things. The whole key to doing a 4-step is to not have to do one ever again. That's actually the whole point. I did my 4-step. It's over with. I will not do another one. I may go back and utilize that step in order to work through a problem or a resentment that I see coming on. But otherwise, I utilize step 10. That's the whole secret. So you don't have to do another one. If you have to go back and do another 4-step, you didn't do it right the first time, or you did not do 6 and 7 correctly. We're supposed to be letting all that stuff go. How are you building more resentments when you're supposed to stop fighting? I did 4-step. I got to do another one this year. How many people pissed you off? How many people did you let live inside your fucking head at that point? You're supposed to be free of that. Just a little secret. It's really what it's there. I'll find it someday. I don't know where it's actually said it, but it says this, So I'm actually going to read out of Drop the Rock, the Ripple Effect, on step 10, because it gives us a little bit different of a view of it. So in our initial practice of the first 9 steps, we lay the foundation for a spiritual awakening that results in the promises given to us in the big book. So we are laying a foundation, right? Steps 1, 2, and 3 are foundation steps. Right? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9 are action steps. 10, 11, and 12 are also action steps, but they're supposed to be for maintenance. And then it goes into the promises. We are going to know a new freedom, a new happiness. We will not regret the past nor wish to shut the door on it. We'll comprehend the word serenity and we will know peace. No matter how far down the scale we have gone, we will see how our experience can benefit others. That feeling of uselessness and self pity will disappear. We will lose interest in selfish things and gain interest in our fellows. Morning, Chris. Self seeking will slip away. Our whole attitude and outlook upon life will change. Fear of people and economic insecurity will leave us. We will intuitively know how to handle situations which used to baffle us. We suddenly realize that God is doing for us what we could not do for ourselves. Okay? Now, working step 10, we begin the final stage of experiencing a spiritual transformation on an ongoing basis, culminated in step 12. As the big book tells us, we have entered the world of the spirit. Our next function is to grow in understanding and effectiveness. Step 10, along with 11 and 12, help us stay in the world of the spirit. The word stay is vitally important. The first 9 steps have now become our way of living. As the big book explains, this is not an overnight matter. It should continue for a lifetime. And that is where we continue to practice these principles in all of our affairs. Right? What are the principles? Do you know what principles you're supposed to be practicing? I'm becoming a fan of Drop the Rock because it has easy stuff to find. So for every step, there is a principle. Step 1 is honesty. Step 2 is hope. Step 3 is faith. Step 4 is courage. Step 5 is integrity. Step 6, willingness. Step 7, humility. Step 8, brotherly love. Step 9, justice. Step 10, where we are at now, perseverance. Step 11, spiritual awareness. And step 12, service. Those are the 12 principles. And those are the principles upon which we live. So in step 10, perseverance, what does that mean? That means getting through the hard shit without drinking or being a dick. That's what that means. That you can go into a situation, whether your feelings were hurt or not, and you can take care of it. You can realize what is going on because you've done these other things. I like that step 8 is brotherly love. I think that's cool. In the earlier steps, we discovered that only sustainable solution for us was a complete spiritual change. That change has now been brought about with the help and guidance of our higher power. Step 10 enables us to maintain this change and readies us for further changes. Many of these will occur privately in our heart in a matter of not immediately visible to the outside world. In step 10 work, we often say, wait a minute, what did I just say? What I just said or did was wrong. I'm sorry, let me make it right. That's not quite it, but yeah, that's, we did. Let's say I'm talking to my wife, something comes out of my mouth that just isn't, maybe it's offensive, maybe it sounds demanding, right? Babe, I'm sorry. I did not mean for it to come out that way. Could you please do it for me? Yeah. Okay. I'm working on that. It won't happen again today. And let them know that I'm working on it. Hey, I saw that. Do you see that? I saw that. Better work on it. Doesn't have to be much more than that, unless you've really pushed it. Then, then maybe pull out a love language and do something for that person. That's okay. As we mature in step 10, however, we need to do this less and less often. We learn to observe ourselves, realize what we are doing, and stop before we have done much or any harm. With practice and experience, we catch ourselves earlier and earlier, First we act, then as soon as we act later, we begin to act, and eventually before we act, at the moment of impulse or emotion. So we should be at a point where we, not that it's not going to happen, where we shouldn't be reacting to life. We should be acting with life. We should be in agreement with life and what is going on with it, because there's nothing I can do to change it. Right? When when I had corona and then the gallbladder surgery, there wasn't much I could do about it except get the surgery, take care of myself, and do what was appropriate for myself. Right? And that's what I had to do. Notice it also says you are going to have to do this less and less and less, because you will more and more be in the sunlight of the spirit. Now, do you catch why I'm saying you should never have to do a second 4-step? It's been my experience, because I'm supposed to maintain that step in step 10. Are you working step 10? Have you what I've usually noticed, what happens is people refuse the gifts given to them by God. They feel like they can't, they don't, they're not allowed to have them. It's kind of like having 10 years of sobriety and saying I'm still insane. You're not insane anymore. When can you accept the fact that God has restored you to sanity? That is something else that we must accept and come into agreement with. And it's hard to do. Why? Because we've been living there for an awfully long time. Good morning, Jerry. We've been living there for a very long time, and it's our default. And it is going to take a while for that to switch around. Here it is. When we did our initial moral inventory, we saw our shortcomings and character defects as painful objects that we need to be removed, like cancerous tumors. Now, however, our vision is clearer, our insight deeper, our discernment stronger. We see that our character defects and shortcomings are a process, not objects. They cannot simply be discarded and forgotten. They can arise at any time and in any situation. Old flaws that we thought had grown out long ago can unexpectedly reappear, so flaws we didn't realize we had. Unresolved or previously unexamined resentments, fears, guilt, shame, and remorse can still show up. And when they do, we need to deal with them promptly as a necessary part of our ongoing recovery. There again, it said it again. It is relating it to the 4th step. Jerry, I kind of brought up a topic that not. Let me go back a little bit. And it may be somebody else's experience. I don't put down other people that say, I'm doing a second 4. If that's what they feel they need to do in theirs. But the way that I was taught is I do my 4th step and then I utilize the 10th step to not do another 4th step. Resentments are killers. So what am I going to do? Hold on to those resentments for another 9 months before I decide to sit down and do another 4th step? No, it needs to be taken care of right now. Now, immediately. Or as quick as soon as possible. Why do we do that? Because we don't like confrontation. That is part of the 10th step. Taking care of it immediately. Why? Because it is an example. Because you are going to be an example of doing the right thing. And keeping your emotions inside and bottled up until you can do another 4th step is going to hurt you. It's going to hurt. You're either going to have a dry drunk or you're going to go back out. One of the two. When did our moral inventory, they cannot simply discard old flaws, unresolved or previously unexamined, resentments, fears, guilt, and shame and remorse can still show up. And that when they do, we need to deal with them promptly as a necessary part of our ongoing recovery. In working step 10, we accept these natural parts of being human. Aha. So, step 10 allows me the right to be wrong. It is a I am a human being step. You're going to make mistakes. It isn't a matter of if, it's a matter of when. And the question isn't that it came out of your mouth, it's what are you going to do about it? That's how I used to save customers and customer service. Oh, stuff's going to happen. Something is going to happen. It's how we handle it that matters, right? Am I right? Lemmings. We do our best to notice them when they arise and address them as quickly as possible by working steps 6 and 7. Doesn't say go back to step 4. We have also learned that our character defects and shortcomings are not inherently wrong or bad. They are simply over or under expressions of our human nature. We do not ask our higher power to remove our desires to be social or sexual or safe. Instead, we ask our higher power to remove our desire to express those desires in a harmful way. I'm still going to get upset. I'm still going to get depressed. I'm still going to get mad. I'm still going to get excited. Yes, we throw that in there. Why? We all know why. Because it is just as easy, if not easier, to relapse over excitement than it is something tough because we are stubborn ass fucking motherfuckers. Because we're stubborn. Yeah, you think I can't make it through this hard one? Watch me. Oh, time to celebrate now that I got through that. Right. So that is my view on step 10. It is a maintenance step. It is a very big step and something that you can practice on a daily basis to remain free of being angry and a grouch. But you're going to have to accept the fact that it's going to be okay to grow. See, without honesty, without awareness, without these other things, it's not going to happen for you. If you're not being absolutely 100% honest with yourself, it will not happen. You cannot have both. You cannot hide your truth. Okay? Because what was the principle? Perseverance. Right? Which means that we will suddenly know how to handle situations which used to baffle us. I watch people go through it all the time. And I think it's cool how they handle it and come out the other side doing good because they did it the right way. Maybe for the first time. And that can feel pretty good, man. That can feel pretty good. Hey, I did that. I have to name call. I didn't even get angry. Wow. And you're going to notice those things. Okay? And when you notice those things, I want you to do something. Good on me. You don't have to go any further than that. You don't need to break your arm patting yourself on the back. No reason to bring pride into it. But gosh, there's nothing wrong with complimenting yourself when you see something good. Why are you doing that? Because what you were saying is, hey, that was good. And what it does is it sends endorphins and things to your brain to say, hey, when we do that, it feels good. And then that starts to become the habit. All right, guys. I'll be back tomorrow for the daily reflection. I love you guys. Peace out and have a day.